I don't think I can do anything here. Yeah.
It was like 2 seconds.
Such a good sleep in our freaking moron of a Cassidy player. I mean, I literally went from like consistently plat for 10 seasons.
So many wins in your future. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not convinced. We'll talk about this in a minute because I already had some really good concerns brought up that I actually really want to talk about a little bit more specifically, because at the beginning of this stream, people that are like, what in the world is this guy doing? At least they'll have an explanation. I'm actually going to try to remember to chapter this stream so I can have the explanation at the beginning and all that kind of stuff, so that if people are looking back through this one, they can scan through it. But it will be a YouTube video next week. So I will basically talk about my experience. It'll be like a 8 to 10 minute video. It'll be very short. So if I go over to my analytics for last year, which I've never hidden from you guys, I don't care. Like, if you can see how much money I made. It is not a big deal. You can see that we had a crazy explosive last portion of the year. Crazy explosive. So if we look at our top content, which is something that YouTube will actually put together for you, the very top video ranked by views over the course of the year, with 220,000 views on YouTube Shorts, counter swapping isn't necessary. Here's why. So I decided that I needed to make a YouTube video revolving around why I don't counter swap, but I didn't know how I wanted to do that. I didn't just want to make a video that talked about it. I wanted to make a video that showed it in some way. So, let me explain to you first why I have not been an advocate of counter swapping to this point, and I'm still not sure whether I will be after this experiment. It is just that, an experiment. The thing that... How do I phrase this well? There are counters in the game. There are. There is no getting around that. That is part of how the game is balanced, because if you have an extreme of, like, Zarya, right, you need to have another extreme that's equal. You have something like Reinhardt or something that can kind of at least cancel and negate the value of high outputs of damage from Zarya. Now, again, whether the game is perfectly balanced currently is not my point. I don't think there's ever going to be such a thing as perfect balance. It's another topic for another day, but Zarya, Rein, matchup, countering, right? So what I have found is that there is this weird part of the community that thinks you ought to counter swap all the time. And it's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. There's kind of, I've noticed, like, I would say there's probably 3 categories of people where it comes to counter swapping and what to do with it. There's people who say you always counter swap, and if you don't, you're throwing, which is like one extreme. The other extreme is counters don't exist. Neither of those extremes are correct. That is absolutely just, that's it. That's it. But I think there is a middle ground where counter swapping, when you are getting hard countered, which is still not something that I currently agree with, but I understand that one more. That one makes a lot more sense to me. Where, like, yesterday, my game at Eichenwald, a lot of people, including people in my chat, in the comment sections when I posted the video yesterday, there were a lot of people that suggested, I say a lot of people, there were a few people, I think that's probably a better way, let's be accurate about this. There were a few people that basically questioned why I didn't swap to something that was a bit better into a Reinhardt with a Mercy-pocketed Bastion at Eichenwald instead of just continuing to play Zarya. Why didn't I go Sigma? Even people were like, play your hero pool, that's fine. But why didn't you swap heroes? That is not, in my mind, counter-swapping. That's a separate thing. You are swapping to fit what the game is wanting from you. And while I don't fully agree with that, and I'll explain with that in a separate time, that's not what we're out to talk about today. There is an alarming group of people who genuinely believe that if you counter swap, you will win. At the very least, more games. And it is just not true. I don't believe it's true. I think that we're going to get to a point where today you're going to see that. Now, I want to make sure I'm clear on something. When you do an experiment and you're trying to make proof of something, you have to do your best to make sure it's, you know, what's the word? I'm not sure the official term, but as tightly sealed as you can make it. I am playing on my main account, where I just re-achieved Diamond 3. I'm not a fan of D-ranking, contrary to popular belief, so I am going to try my very best on these heroes. And generally speaking, I understand how the heroes play. I may not understand, well, I'll even say it this way, I definitely don't know how these heroes play to a high level, but I do know how these heroes function by this point, with very few exceptions. So, we will be working on that today. I am going to give it my very best. And if I prove myself wrong and I counter swap and win every single game or just the majority of them on heroes that I don't normally play, I'll eat my words. I will eat my words. You have my word on that. I will eat my words. Okay? So, Treshflax, hey, welcome to the stream. You were one of the folks that I actually was referencing a minute ago. He left a really great comment. It was being a little rude, unnecessarily, but there was a good comment at its, like, if I would say informational. So I posted the thing about counter swapping today, and this individual, Tress, I'm not sure how to say your name. You need to actually be partially competent on those heroes. You're barely able to play Zarya to a competent level. The first part, I actually agree with. That's actually the point I'm trying to make with this. And then, that last part though, come on, man. My Zarya isn't perfect, but I do play Zarya to a competent level. That's a little extreme. That Zarya is like the reason I'm in Diamond. Like, anything else I fall over, right? But I do play Zarya at a decent level. Well, I don't know if anything else I fall over is a fair statement, but anyway. And we won't get into the argument I had with you because there's no point. But I think that where I boil down to is like, there's a lot of folks that think like this, where it's like, this is correct. That's actually my point. This is correct. This is a correct line of thinking. That very first statement, you need to actually be partially competent on those heroes you're swapping to. Yes. Yes. And what's crazy is if you really think this and boil it down to its very core problem, that is the problem. You can't play all of the heroes and even if you just pick one role, even if it's tank, which I believe tank still has the least amount of heroes in the game. It's either that or support. We know DPS isn't it. I haven't counted them. You guys can correct me, but I believe tank is definitely it is one of the lower groups. We'll say it that way of the three roles. But you have to be able to play the roster that way if you're going to counter swap constantly. And I don't think that 90% of people are capable of doing that, myself included. I think that you need to pick heroes you enjoy playing 1 to 3 and play those heroes and focus on learning. I'm going to keep it realistic. I'm going to counter swap once and then stay on that counter. Right, and the only reason I will move off of that is if I'm getting hard countered like people talk about. Like 3 people that are just, like, we'll use an example, okay? They play Wrecking Ball, I go Roadhog, right? And then they go Ana, oh, what am I thinking here? High damage outburst. Ana's a big one, but Ana, I don't know. I don't even know what the rest of Roadhog's counters would definitely be. Ana's the most obvious one. I guess high damage is what I would think, right? You can chunk his really healthy health pool down. Malga, yeah, Malga, that's a good one. Reaper, yeah, Ana Kree Malga. Kree? What, Kree? Hello? Bastion, that one I can see. I don't know about Kree. But you get what I'm saying. Like, if I'm looking at it, I'm like, I feel like I'm getting hard countered, then I'll swap. Otherwise, I'm staying on it. You should know what the counters of main are, and then find one other tank that can hold your own against those counters, so you can use that as backup. 1 to 3 tanks is all you need. See, and that's the thing. Like, you and I actually agree. That's what I was trying to get at in the comments, brother. And I hope you see that now. That was why I wanted you to come by the stream. This is exactly it. You and I actually largely agree. I'm just trying to prove a point. Does that make sense? And it's content too. I mean, let's just be real. Like, it's content, right? So that's where I get to. That's where I get to. So listen, if you are here for the first time, genuinely I'm thankful. Right? I say that a lot, but I'm going to continue to say it. Apparently, I owe you guys a hydrate. But this community is full of largely different groups of people. We have lots of different people in this community. All kinds of ideologies, outlooks on life, all kinds of stuff. I've talked about my faith, I've talked about my political views in the past, and people kind of get caught up in that and assume that if you don't align with those things, you're not welcome here. That could not be further from the truth. And anybody who is in this community that is on the opposite sides of those spectrums from me can tell you that that's not the case. I can promise you. Oh lord, I have an update on Overwatch. Forgot. I thought I had Battle.net open all of yesterday. Hopefully it's not the 20 gig update. I'll cry if it is. I'll let you guys know. But this community is founded on one core principle. That principle is that life is difficult. Don't do it alone. Everybody, regardless of our differences, can align on that. Every single person. And if you can't, you're not human. I'm just gonna be honest. So, my personal encouragement to every single one of you that goes beyond the communities, and this is just me personally, I'm gonna make sure I'm very clear on that, is 3 things. Find Christ, find friendship, and find community. In that order. So that when life hits the fan, you can pray to an infinite God who loved you enough to send his son to die for you. Effectively bridging the gap between us and him that our behavior created. And the second piece is friendship. Friendship is there for that one-on-one connection when you're emotionally really going through it, and you just need to anchor into reality before you start spinning out of control. Maybe you've experienced some heavy loss of some kind. A death in the family, a friend. Maybe you've gone through a breakup that's brutal. Friendships are there to help you through those moments. I firmly believe that. I've been through many of them myself, and having friendships in those moments have been what's kept me anchored. The final piece is community. Community to me, is where, there we go, you have a practical problem at a large scale. Maybe you lost your job. There's a ton of people that are doing that right now. That's why I keep using that example. It's a very relatable thing because there are a ton of people who have lost their jobs in the last little bit. Whether it's AI or just end of last year layoffs, like, some of it's just unfortunately normal. Some of it is not normal and it's new and they don't know what to do. They've maybe been financially prepared, burned through their emergency funds, have racked up credit card debt just trying to stay ahead of things. And now they're at the end of their rope and they need some serious help. Maybe they just need their rent paid while they're still trying to find a job because the job market in the United States is words that I probably shouldn't use. It's horrible. It's really bad. Okay? And I'm aware of that despite the fact that I'm comfortable in my job and have one. I'm good. But I understand that there is a real problem right now. So, all those things, their rent being paid is a lot to put on their 4 or 5 closest friends if they're fortunate to have that many. But if they're part of a community, they can reach out to a group of 50, 100, 200, 300, with thousands of people, and suddenly the problem becomes smaller and smaller because everybody is bearing that burden together because they care for the person commonly. That's it. It's that simple. So, if any of those things are things that you're needing in your life, community, friendship, and if you want to talk about difficult topics, faith, politics, these things are important. They do need to be discussed. We need to get back to a place where we can talk about them amongst each other and not result to insults to the people we disagree with. It's important. If we can't do that, we're going to continue to go down this horrible, horrible, horrible track we're all on right now. Jump in our Discord, please. It's completely free. Doesn't cost you any money. It costs you some time, and I've always said time is the most valuable asset you have. So in return for your time, you have the opportunity to talk about political things and faith-based things. We moderate that chat very, very, very closely. It's not always perfect. Things slip through the cracks, and if it does, you need to let us know. You can also find friendship there. There are people who have genuinely, I swear to God, this is real. There are people who have met in this Discord that are now close friends in real life. It's amazing. And I say real life, the life outside of the internet. The internet is real, it's just not as real as real life. And then obviously you're part of a community. By default. So, I am going to pray real quick. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, and I want you to know I completely respect you regardless. If you don't feel comfortable sticking around for prayer, I really do respect that. Come back in like 3 minutes. I'll be wrapped up. We'll get into the games, and we'll see about this whole counter-swapping thing. Okay? Alright. God, thank you for today. Thank you for every person who is here, regardless of their personal beliefs or political background. I want to thank you that they are here. Thank you for the people that are in our Discord who are constantly challenging the way that I think. Thank you for them. Thank you for Brian. Thank you for Moral Virus. Thank you for Palpatine. Thank you for Briar. Thank you for these people that, while I don't always agree with them, they're willing to have conversations. They're willing to have a conversation that's difficult and challenging, and they may even think I'm an absolute moron in the back of their minds for not understanding things. But they continue to do their best to educate and allow me to learn, and vice versa. Thank you for them. Thank you for the challenge they give me in my life. I want to thank you for the people that are out there online that are hating. They can hate all they want. All it does is fuel the content at the end of the day. And realistically, I know there's nothing to actually hate on that bears any relevance to my real life. So I just keep pushing. But I thank you for them. Because they continue to keep me humble. Not just because they send people our way. Don't let any of this growth or any sort of whatever micro influence that people are calling this now, don't let any of that go to my head. I pray you keep me humble. Help me to steward it well. And as I continue to push more content out there, don't allow me to get lost in quantity over quality. Help me to continue to push out things to the best of my ability that provide quality value to anybody who would choose to watch. Go before me today and keep my head on straight. I know that today is going to be mentally taxing because I don't even know most of the counters to these tanks because I've never cared about the counters. So help me to receive criticism well and to learn from this experience. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Appreciate you guys being here, man, for real. And for today, I think I am going to start turning this off. It is kind of distracting. And there's been a few people who've called it out. And then I watched back my stream, and I'm like, you know what? That is kind of distracting. That's fair. Especially because, like, my heroes don't require a lot of intense movement or whatever. Like, it's just not. It's not it. So some people may try to backseat coach you toxically because of the type of stream you're doing today. That's okay if they do. They're welcome to try. Do we see JQ today? Who would I be playing JQ into? Tell me, who are her counters? Okay, so we're gonna come out on Ramatra. We'll see. We'll see what they choose. Does Ramatra technically counter Zarya? I would think so, but I don't know. I would think so, just because of shield and like the block and stuff, you can basically mitigate a lot of her damage. Interesting take, warm pancakes.
If anybody asks, I was never here.
Time to embrace patriotism, he said. Rah! I hate it here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, we're into Orisa, so unironically I should go back and play Zarya. But I'm going to try not to do that. Who else counters Orisa? You said Mauga, right?
Got a little impatient here. I probably die for it. I do die for it. Yep. Okay. All right. So we almost have Ram ult. Yeah, my headphones are IEMs. Yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna get my ult and then I'll swap. Okay, guys. Let me know what I'm swapping to, though. I do need to know. Cap the point and then I'll walk back. Zarya? That's it? All right. Well, I mean, they did just come out on a wrist, so I'll go Zarya. It's fine. I'll stick to it.
60 seconds remaining.
Oh no! Come on. I picked the wrong perk too, by the way. I meant to get the jump perk, but that's okay. So I'm going to stay on Zarya just because they started on Orisa. Even if they swap from Orisa, I'm staying on Zarya. Just like I committed to at the beginning. This is kind of not the best example, though, because, I mean, I literally just play Zarya, so... Okay, I took my one.
Particle cannon online.
Tango spotted.
I feel the burn.
It's
Enemy.
tactical visor activated.
Gosh, dang it. Wow. No, I don't pick the friendly bubble perk that much, no. I did accidentally pick the charge perk instead of the jump perk, but that's okay. We lose this fight, don't we? I didn't have a bubble yet. I tried to time that. Oh well. It's not totally useless, especially if you can get good charge, but
Score 1-0. Switching sides. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
I do get the chance to pick better. I'm gonna take the chance to. What's the word I'm looking for? Pick better perks this time.
We will crush them.
There are 2 purple app streamers that are live watching you right now. W, that's awesome. So, for those that don't know, they came out on Orisa. I came out on Ramatra. I fought to Ultimate and then swapped to Zarya because they're playing Orisa. And oddly enough, my point is still being proven, despite the fact that I'm playing a counter that I know how to play. So, it's just that my point is, I think you bubble too early unless you're bubbling pre-fight on projectile. Yeah, that's true. I'll try the perk swap, Hottie. Only because you're just like a Giga Chad and you're here, so
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
no, we're on Winton.
Enemy.
Really glad you missed that. I would have been very. Oh, okay. Okay, we come back around the corner here. Okay. So I almost have Zara ult, so I am going to commit to Zarya, and then we can swap to Ramatra. I don't know if we can recover that or not. We're gonna try. Walk the point. Oh, come on. The point. Don't let him take the point.
Going for a new personal best.
Have peace at any cost.
Dang it. Oh, we nano? Okay, we got beat out. We walk. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a really bad example, but that's okay. This is tough. This is tough. But I mean, honestly, low-key, it's kind of proving my point. I don't know if you checked the stream title, but that's why we swapped. It's an experiment. Force. Well, that's just a team div.
On attack first. And so I started out on Ramatra. Waited, I stayed alive till I got ult. And then I went ahead and swapped to Zarya. Zarya is a hero I know how to play well. But unfortunately, when you have, like, the kind of the point I'm making here, and this is it does continue to kind of prove my point, counter swapping does not win you games.
What? Embarrassing.
Counter swapping does not win you games. This is still continuing to prove my point. I counter swapped. I did what I could. I even counter swapped to a good counter, like a hero that I know how to play well, Zarya, right? And I still got stomped. So counter swapping does not change things.